ever had a major kitchen catastrophe? Like that cooking show, specifically for bad cooks, wouldn't even let you in kind of catastrophe. My mom is like the queen of baking. So this one Mother's Day, I thought I'd overachieve and surprise her with homemade brownies, all baked in love by yours truly. I was about to win at Mother's Day. I thought of everything. I got out the fancy mixer, set out the flour, the sugar, the cocoa. I had it all ready to go. My mom came home and was shocked. I pulled it off. The perfect Mother's Day. Give me my brownie points, literally. We cut into the pan, took out the coveted corner piece, and Crumb Nation. I'm like, wait a second. No way. I followed all the directions and I see the eggs still sitting on the counter. Yep, I completely forgot to add them. My sweet treat for my mom turned out to be the driest brownies I've ever had. I'm Christoph, and if you feel like your life is crumbling everywhere, I get it. You're not alone. Sometimes things just do not go according to the plan in our head. You're on track one moment and wondering where you took a wrong turn the next. So, what do we do in those moments? Today, we're going to look at a guy in the Bible named Jeremiah who knew that feeling. Now, Jeremiah was a prophet, meaning he had the job of communicating God's message to his people, whether it was good news or bad news. Now, the people Jeremiah was writing to were no strangers to plans falling apart. He was writing to this group of people called the Israelites, who were in exile, which means they were in captivity, being ruled by a nation that couldn't care less about following God. But to be honest, the Israelites weren't really paying attention to God either. See, Babylon was one of the greatest cities in the world at this time, but also was one of the most evil. And the Israelites were brought to Babylon against their will. It wasn't some happy occasion or vacation destination. In truth, their entire lives were interrupted, and they had to have wondered what God was up to. Let's take a closer look at Jeremiah chapter 29, verses 5 through 7 together. Here, God is speaking to the exiled Israelites, letting them know what they should do now. It says, "Build houses and live in them. Plant gardens and eat their produce. Find wives for yourselves and have sons and daughters. Find wives for your sons and give your daughters to men in marriage so that they may bear sons and daughters. Multiply there. Do not decrease. Pursue the well-being of the city I have deported you to. Pray to the Lord on its behalf, for when it thrives, you will thrive." So, God's people were in Babylon, probably asking what they were supposed to do with this curveball. And God's response? He told them to live there, like really live there. Plant gardens and get married and have children. Their lives weren't supposed to be on pause because of this unexpected turn. Sometimes when life isn't going how we've planned, we can think that it must be a mistake and that our only goal is to get back on track. But Jeremiah wrote that even though life wasn't going how the Israelites were hoping it would, they were supposed to embrace where they were and put down some roots. God had put the Israelites in Babylon for a purpose, for his purpose. God said he was the one that put them there. They weren't in captivity because God was out of control, but because God had different plans for them than they thought. A few verses down, Jeremiah continued, "For this is what the Lord says, when 70 years for Babylon are complete, I will attend to you and will confirm my promise concerning you to restore you to this place. For I know the plans I have for you. This is the Lord's declaration. Plans for your well-being, not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. You will call to me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you search for me with all your heart. I will be found by you. This is the Lord's declaration. And I will restore your fortunes and gather you from all the nations and places where I banished you. This is the Lord's declaration. I will restore you to the place from which I deported you." God told the Israelites that their time in Babylon wasn't going to be short-lived. It was actually going to be 70 years. Talk about a long detour. But even though the Israelites were going to be there for decades, God told them that there was a reason for it all. God had a plan, and that plan was good. This plan promised hope, not despair. There were good things to come, not only when the exile ended, but during it. So, what did this good plan actually look like? God told his people that they were going to turn back to him with their whole heart. See, the best thing that could happen to the Israelites was for them to recognize who God is and decide to really follow him. And that was what was going to happen while they were in Babylon. God had put them exactly where they were supposed to be so that his best for them could happen. It may not have been in their plans, but it was in God's. And his plans are best, always. As followers of God, even when life feels like it's falling apart, his signature is still on every season. We don't always see the plan. We don't always understand the path. But wherever we are, he has us there for a reason. And here's the truth. God's plan is never half-baked. He's intentional. He's purposeful. He's writing your story with one goal in mind, that you would experience his love for you in a relationship with him. When it feels like your life is crumbling, remember that God doesn't forget the ingredients like we might. With him, nothing is wasted, and he has placed you right where you are with intentionality and purpose.